Wowsker, wowsker. Well, hey, I just got the phone call. To go meet the representative that's going to buy back my Indian Pursuit. What an adventure. And it's snowing up here. The good news is that this person is going to make it all work. And that's fantastic, because for me, I really thought that this would turn into the snow day, which should be the no day. And for me, I'm excited to finally get this vehicle put to bed, because not only do I quit making payments on a motorcycle I don't use or ride, and I quit paying insurance, and I quit paying DMV fees, and I quit paying personal property tax. I mean, there's a lot that goes on when you go out and buy a motorcycle or a car or whatever it may be. And it's cold, so I just got the phone call. Get the old Raptor here. Was driving the 37 Raptor earlier, but I want to put my mud flaps or my splash guards on that hopefully today, and I don't want to have it be trashed. So I think I'll take the Bronco. The only thing with these Broncos, the lower area for the heat is terrible. So I'm going to get on down there to Motorcycles of Dulles, and those that are watching my channel, they know this has been a long haul. It was a lot of work for me to really get Indian to finally cave in my world and to buy back this motorcycle. In so many ways, you know, if it wasn't for my YouTube channel, wasn't for all my videoing, wasn't for me owning so many Indian motorcycles from them and still having the Indian Challenger, would they have agreed to buy this bike back? Because the guy that comes to the closure of this buyback, I mean, he just kind of gave me the feeling like this just doesn't happen. And so I've spoke about this so many times on my channel on how I feel there's so many other Indian Pursuit owners that are just having to deal with the fact that it is what it is. And if you're if your bike's got a little bit of this wobble in it, just suck it up, buttercup. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't have all the inside information, but this has been a long haul. And that's why I'm happy that it's going to happen today, because originally, when this individual reached out yesterday, they were wanting to meet Tuesday at 8 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, the dealership doesn't even open up, I think, until like 9 or 10. And I don't know if they're going to do that or not. But I said I'll call the owner, I'll call my good friend Pete down there, and I'll see if they'll accommodate you on that. And then she's like, well, then maybe can we do it Wednesday and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, yeah, here we go. So, weather permitting, I know this person's already been over to around the Beltway this morning. So, she just called and said she's supposed to arrive at Motorcycles of Dulles at 12:07. And once again, for me, wow, what an adventure. For me, I've been very fortunate because I've purchased so many vehicles. If you think about how many vehicles I've purchased my lifetime, I'm telling you, I have purchased over 400 vehicles in my lifetime. And with that being the case, you would just think that you would have this happen more often than not. And I have been very fortunate to buy a lot of vehicles and not to have issues where I've had to go through borderline litigation to get the vehicle taken back or bought back. And for those out there that have had a really bad experience with the brand, you know, it's very challenging. And I'm sure many would say, yeah, you know, for me, my story was they didn't do anything for me. My story was I had to suck it up, buttercup, and take the loss on the vehicle and just, you know, eventually get rid of it and move on. I mean, that's a story a lot of times. I know there's lemon laws, and there's a lot of things to protect you as a consumer, but wow. So here we are, roads here, nothing going on, thank goodness. So I can get the heck out of here and get on down there. And you can see how I come to closure on the Indian Pursuit. Well, today definitely is ice day for Ice Age TV, that is. So boy, oh boy, I'm getting ice fuel. I'm in the ice, and cold out here. How much ice do we need? We're 15 gallons, $3.39 on the premium, and no idea what's going on here. Ooh, we got a little traffic jam going on here. Somebody's stuck or something. I don't know. There you go. It's getting crazy. You'd think it was Christmas. En route we are. Boy, I can still remember driving the Indian Pursuit back to the dealership through this corner I just went through. And that's about a 30, 35 mile an hour off ramp that you go through. And that Indian Pursuit was right at that fine line speed limit where that shimmy in the front end would happen. And that was really freaky. And so for many that are watching the channel, some may not be so abreast on the some may not be abreast on what's going on today on my channel, but it's all about me having Indian Buyback, my Pursuit, that had a steering end, what they call like the death wobble. It's where your front end wheel and tire radiate back into your handlebars as shimmy, where it shakes. And it's a very uncomfortable feeling on a motorcycle when you have what you feel like is an unbalanced wheel and tire. And so that motorcycle, it has a personality of in the 30 mile an hour up to 40 mile an hour range. The bike just for some reason begins to shake in some ways violently. I mean, it's just kind of weird. And we tried to resolve the problem through trial and error over really about a 2-month time of just kind of trying to figure out what would fix the motorcycle's problem. And a lot of people thought it was the front tire, bad front tire. And then people thought it was a bad front wheel. And then people thought maybe it's the back tire. And then they thought it was the steering head wasn't torqued down correctly at the factory. And so we went through a lot of trial and error, and I just finally got to a point where I was like, I'm just not going to continue to be the guinea pig of this, for the most part, new motorcycle, and was able to convince Indian to buy the motorcycle back. But that didn't happen overnight, and it took a lot of trial and error on the dealer's behalf of them trying to fix it, but nothing being resolved, and even me being very involved and me videoing the motorcycle as we're going down the road, where I have video on my channel showing on how this front handlebar starts to shake. So it just isn't something that I'm making up. And once again, this is the final day of ownership for this motorcycle that in so many ways I so really wanted for close to 2 years, to only the end result is Indians buying back this motorcycle, and that'll be the first for me ever on all the years of my vehicle purchases of a manufacturer having to buy back a product that they couldn't figure out how to resolve. And I, to this day, feel like there's a lot of other Indian Pursuit owners that have this ongoing issue, but they're not getting any traction, get anything done. Because it's at a very fine line of the speed. When you're doing 10 miles an hour, 20, even just like at 30, there's nothing really going on with the motorcycle. It's in that 30 mile an hour range where you start to have these issues. And then after you hit over 40, it goes away. But for me, I would get that bike up to the 60 mile an hour, 70 mile an hour range, and I could just feel that front end maneuvering the motorcycle. And I just felt very, it was not a confident feeling motorcycle. And it's so weird, right out of the gate I bought that motorcycle, and the front end just didn't feel right. It was just so weird. Right out of the gate, it's like, this bike doesn't feel confident. And it took me basically up to 250 miles of riding that motorcycle to come to closure that this bike definitely has a flaw, and it's not a safe motorcycle to ride. So this motorcycle is going back to Indian with about 290 miles on it. At the time I took the dealership, and they rode the motorcycle, and they tried to figure it out and get it to behave this way. So it spent a lot of time, a lot of effort. Dealerships put a lot of time into this, and for me, I just truly believe that this is an ongoing problem with the Indian Pursuit design, because my Indian Challenger doesn't have this same problem. But a Challenger and a Pursuit, the difference in those two vehicles is one's a touring model, one is more of a cruising model. The touring model has it's a touring model, but it doesn't have the rear tour back nor the lowers. And we just think that, I don't know, that the lowers create an air deviation up in that front end to create this problem. Raining pretty hard, and probably going to get there a little before the representative gets there to go through the paperwork. What's really interesting is it isn't Indian buying the motorcycle back. It's a third-party company that buys back the motorcycle. So that's kind of interesting on how they handle that. Yeah, they're going to pay me what I pay for the motorcycle, taxes, add-ons, monthly payments, interest payments. The only thing they're not paying me back on, which in some ways I think I should have thought about it earlier, is they should be paying back my insurance payments and my personal property. And if I probably would have pushed that a little harder in the beginning, they probably would have reimbursed that. But it came down to the end when I really started to think about that, and I just knew what would happen. It would just push the settlement of this yet probably another few weeks, maybe a month. So I was like, forget it. It's not worth it, because it's just going to continue to push this out and get this finalized and resolved. So that's what's going on today, and I just thought I'd share this video because I don't think most people experience what I have gone through, and just kind of give you an overview of how it goes down and what happens. And a lot of people were really kind of wondering if they'd ever even buy the bike back. So stay tuned for the end result of the pursuit. The pursuit of what? The pursuit of the end? End of a pursuit? Okay, rolling up here to Motorcycles of Dulles. The Triumph Indian, Royal Enfield, BMW. But look here. So if you watch my channel, you'll see it's a dramatic difference from when it's sunny and nice out. So obviously, it's that time of the year where who's riding motorcycles? Who's doing that today, right? Yes, 'tis the change of season. Yeah, you want to buy a motorcycle? Today's the day to go buy a bike. Why? Because they want to sell motorcycles. They'll probably do anything they can to sell a motorcycle. Because, so I was right, 10 a.m. So, yeah. Hey, there's something like that, and here it is. Here is the big showroom. Danger is I'll see something I want to buy. Danger is I'll take the check that they give me and buy something else. That is always a danger. Here is a used Indian. See that there? That's really the true Indian look. But I never want a pre-2020 model. What is it over here? See this right here? Is this? Oh, Triumph. Yeah. So, yeah, dangerous, right? That's a great bike there. The Dark Horse, Chieftain Dark Horse, Roadmaster. Great bike. I had the red one. Oh, that was my first Indian. Just loved that bike. It was a great bike. And I sacrificed it for the Indian Challenger. That's the irony. There's an Indian Pursuit right over there. And I rode that bike, and it didn't seem to have an issue. But it's too dangerous. And this is the bike that I was thinking about buying, but I got the black one instead. The red wheels kind of has a kind of just that uniqueness. And then here's my Chief Bobber, or Chief, Sport Chief, that I bought and turned around and sold. Here's my Indian Chieftain Elite. That was a great bike. My daughter and I have a lot of time of riding that bike. Great bike. In some ways, I feel like I shouldn't have sold it because I traded that for the Pursuit. Isn't that something? Wow. So I go back here. Oh, here's the Ducati. The kid's like, hey, Dad, I want a Ducati. And Yeah, if she was down here right next to you, yeah, let's buy that. Yeah, right. They had a really nice KTM down here that came in. That thing disappeared. It was like a KTM 1290. And here's a Honda Goldwing. Which, what year is that? 2018. So that's first year I got mine. As we walk around and check out the inventory. This dealership has grown so much. They're going to put a second level here. So they're literally putting a sole second level over this dealership in this service and back area. And not over here, but I mean it's, and here's all the Zero, the electric bikes. What's out front here? Here's the new GS. No, it's not. Jesus, hey. 2024. Where is the 2024? 2021. And all the troublemakers are down here. Yep, cool looking bike. Ride's terrible. This is interesting. So this is your, what is this? Your highway pegs, you put your feet up on there? Huh, I have no idea. It's a shame that bike didn't ride better. Oh, that thing is like a tank. It's a tank. I would not buy one of those. Beautiful bike. Ride it, you're gonna be like, what? No way. That's right, yeah. Yeah, see? If I stick around here long enough, I'll buy some. But I've had my day with the Boxer motor. I'm just not really, it's just going down here. Usually this is a whole lineup of the sold. So you can see it's all change of season. Tigers are pretty cool. They're doing a good job on these Tigers. If you're looking at the adventure bike, and here's my bike, it's here. Whew, wow. So this is a 24. Even more. What's going on, big guy?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good, man. How's the bike been?
Well, being that it's,
Cold, you probably haven't been riding.
no, I've only ridden it like once.
Yeah.
Because just between my schedule of work and being cold out and all that other stuff, you know. But no, it's neat. I love it. I really do. I'm glad I picked that versus the other one. I like the color combination better. But they're coming by. They're coming today to give me my check for my Pursuit. So the danger is, I'll get a check and I'll buy something else. That's the danger. Right. I'll have to get Shelby down here to get a handle on me. You better say, come down here, urgent. Iceman's here. Walking around. So yeah, the Tigers. I mean, they're such cool looking motorcycles, but to straddle these things is truly like getting on a horse. And sure, you can get the models that are lower, but yeah, I mean, I've had my day. I've had like 4 or 5 of these adventure bikes, and here, this is probably what I would have bought if it would have been available. I probably would have bought the GT model versus the R. But even though I think that I mean, in all reality, they both look badass. But the chrome, a lot of people say that this chrome on a sunny day can be at the right angle and it just blinds you. I don't know anything about that, if it's factual or not, but that's what I hear. So here's the Tigers. And there you go. Oh, this is classic. So we're going to roll out of here in style. We're going to roll out of here in style with the rollerblader, the Blade Man. Oh, he's getting bold. He's getting bold on us. All right, so the Indian Pursuit that has sat here since September of 2023. Yeah, it's brand new. Here she is. Anybody want to buy a really cool Pursuit for a deal? So.
VIN number?
Yeah, is this one an easy one?
VIN is here.
You can go in the computer screen on the bike and see it too.
May need.
No, I have to do it actually. I have to take a picture of it actually.
You gotta take a picture. This text real quick.
Oh, this one right here, this 5K.
Yes, yes, ma'am. So maybe if you can throw the flash on, you might be able to see it.
What is with the
And it
rollerblades?
doesn't have it any other place?
They're fun, man.
It doesn't have it any other place? Some-
All right, the deal went down. I no longer own the Indian Pursuit. But look at this here. The guy just traded in his Harley Davidson Street Glide with 117, but he upgraded to a 122. And I swear this is the ST. I mean, the Street Glide ST, is that right? And he put a Pisani exhaust on this thing. And only has like 1,200 miles on it. And they went like 22 grand for it. Wow. That's pretty, that's a deal. I mean, that motor, Pisani exhaust, I guarantee you this guy's got conservative 8 grand. I'd say 7 to 8 grand into this bike just between the Pisani exhaust, the tune, and the 122. Could maybe be 10 grand. So anybody out there looking for a really cool Harley, right here it is. I mean, sincerely, wow. And there he is. To give just a little bit of exhaust there. See if he gets up the road in the Raptor R 37. There you go. It's raining. Wow, I think this person should park just a little closer to me. What do you think? Just cracks me up how people park, man. Incredible. Yeah, unbelievable. All right, that's it. The Indian Pursuit is finalized. It's done. It's no longer mine. And where does it go next? Where will it be next home? Will that motorcycle be rebranded and resold, as far as they take it and they fiddle with it and they put it back up for sale? I mean, wonder how that's handled. And it's actually labeled as a problem child motorcycle, which I really don't know. And on a rainy day, people have something to do. They go by the motorcycle dealership and buy something. I didn't buy anything. Should I pat myself in the back? I didn't buy anything on being at the motorcycle dealership. It's always, it's always a challenge. Being me, the guy that loves to buy things. But good news is, Indian put it to bed. I'm done. And no more Pursuit. And I don't think I'd ever buy a Pursuit ever again, personally. So, I mean, I know some people go, security cat. You know what? That was a lot of work. That was a lot of work to get rid of that bike. And I truly believe that I just was very fortunate for the variables that made things play out. I don't think everybody gets their spot back. So there it is. Good news. And is there much more to tell you today? There really isn't. I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. And I had a great conversation down there and all that good stuff. So we'll see if there's another motorcycle adventure day of me riding a motorcycle here in the next day or so, because of the weather change. I think next week it's supposed to be warmer, but not right now. But there's a guy, this is no lie, there's a guy there, a military guy there with his wife, that is trading in his BMW K1600 GT for a BMW R18, and he literally took a test ride today on the motorcycle. I mean, I'm not lying. So the guy literally rode his motorcycle on a test ride to see if he likes that bike or not. And apparently he's a daily rider, where he rides his motorcycle like every day to work. So he's conditioned for the good weather and lousy weather. Now, one of the service guys is now riding this R18 BMW to have an additional 30 miles on it for it to qualify for a rebate from BMW because it's a leftover model. It has to have X amount of test time on it, and I was just like, wow, that's pretty hard to believe. But the whole point is the service guy, he's literally out right now riding around on a R18 BMW trying to put 30 more miles on it, because apparently the only way that bike can be sold is you have to plug it into the computer where BMW sees the official mileage on that motorcycle, and it can't be fudged. Somebody can't just write down a piece of paper that it has the 300 mile or 1,000 mile, whatever it may be, to say that it qualifies for the test trial bike that gets a better rebate. So wow, I'm feeling a 36-degree day, and I know the guy well, Connor, that's out riding around right now to try to get miles on a motorcycle. Wow. You don't have to assume that he'd be getting on this green, which to me, I'd ride up and down the greenway 2 or 3 times. Oh my gosh. So here's our Indian Pursuit. I know there's a blue Indian Pursuit here that has the high-rise bars, and his is having issues.
It's not currently in-house, but yes.
Yeah, right. So he couldn't, you guys, but the thing is, they're challenging the high-rise bars that, may be a problem.